Hey, my puppies, this is Melody Fletcher, author of Deliberate Receiving, Finally the Universe Makes Some Freaking Sense. And it's time for Q&A Thursday. So, today's burning question comes from awesome Megan. Hi, Melody. My question is about phobias. I have a rather embarrassing phobia of frogs. They freak me out. Of course, rationally, I know they can't hurt me, but my reaction to them is instant fright, like someone jumping out at you. I know I attract them as a manifestation of my fear, but how do I stop fearing the thing I fear? To stop manifesting them in my house? I've improved over the years. They're a lot smaller now, about the half the size of the Matchbox car, and I can be in the same room as one as long as it's not too close and I can keep an eye on it, in case he goes for the throat. You never know. I know you've done blogs on animal communication. Would that help? Okay, awesome, Megan. Thanks for the laugh. So first of all, animal communication, in this case, might help, but not in the way that you think. It might help you to connect with a frog and find out that he's not there to murder you in your sleep or rip your throat out. This isn't some kind of weird werewolf or vampire frog. I think you've been watching a little bit too much CW. Yeah? So what the frog is there to do is, just as you surmised, he is a very, very helpful being, actually, who has come in to help you realize a fear. So he's not there to hurt you, but he is going to mirror back the fear that you're holding on to inside yourself. And it's a really good sign that you're already less afraid of them. But you know what? It's not about the frog. So when people think, I have a phobia of something, they think that it's as simple as looking for some kind of bad experience that they had with this thing. So if I'm afraid of snakes, maybe I had a really bad experience with a snake once, and that caused a phobia. That's not really how that happens. What happens is that a phobia develops when there is a great deal of fear, and that particular phobia represents that fear and can trigger it in you. And this doesn't matter if it's a fear of heights, or a fear of frogs, or a fear of ducks, or a fear that somebody's constantly staring at you, or whatever that was. Yeah? So what you want to look at when you're looking at a phobia is not so much why are you afraid of frogs, but why are you afraid? And you already hinted at it in your question. Feels like someone's jumping out at you. This is the feeling that you want to step into. And if you need to think of a frog in order to trigger that feeling to begin with, then fine. Yeah, but you don't really need to stay on the whole frog thing, and it might make you too afraid to do that. But what you want to do is you want to step into this feeling, and you might want to do it with a trained practitioner or coach who can hold the energy for you as you do that. Yeah, that's going to sort of ease it off for you, make it easier for you to do this, but you can do this by yourself. And I'm going to give you the technique that I outline in my book, which is where you really want to activate the vibration of the fear, which means you actually allow yourself to feel it. And then what happens is that fear starts to manifest, but in a manageable way. So you start to get thoughts, memories, and ideas that match that fear. And again, they may not make any logical sense, and they'll definitely probably not have anything to do with frogs, but it will feel exactly the same. And then you can take a look at these manifestations of thoughts, memories, and ideas, go into the memory, and start to change it until you feel better. So for example, it may have been something really innocuous, like you were alone at home with your older brother when you were little, and you were scared already because it was dark out and there was a thunderstorm, and then he put on a monster mask and jumped out at you. And that was a feeling of, I'm not safe in my own home, that came up. In that case, you might want to go back and beat the crap out of your brother in your mind as he jumped out at you, and so you can get that feeling of strength and turn all the lights on and bitch him out. Do anything that you need to do to get that little girl to feel like she's safe again, and then you'll be able to achieve a feeling of safety as well. Yeah? So this was not necessarily exactly what your memory is going to be. This is just me spitballing something that it could be, just to give you an example, but sit with the feeling, let the memory come up, and then change the memory. And if you need this explained in much, much more detail, then I urge you to buy my book, Deliberate Receiving, Finally the Universe Makes Some Freaking Sense, because it is a technical manual for how reality actually works, and it outlines this perfectly. All right, I hope I answered your question to your satisfaction. If you would like to ask a question yourself, then please leave a comment below, or come to deliberatereceiving.com, where the Happy Shiny Puppy Army awaits you, which is a community of like-minded folks who cannot wait to meet you. They're absolutely awesome. Until next week, this is Melody Fletcher. Bye.